Okay, guys and girls, welcome back to FTRL. We are here once again for Division 2 in Season 14. We are here for the first ever time in this division at Zandvoort. We're returning for the Dutch Grand Prix. Obviously, a bit of a change. The boys, the Nexus boys of Nexus Cats and Iceman have done a superb job over the last couple of weeks for the start of the season. And just for this week, I will be returning. And yes, it is a birthday stream. So commitment levels are through the roof at the moment, and you may well see there's a couple of changes on the screen itself. So I've recently purchased an Elgato game capture, in which case I'm now streaming from my PC. I've owned this for literally a couple of hours, so everything's a little bit up in the air at the minute in terms of trying to understand how everything works. And like I said, I've had very limited time, so bear with me whilst I try and understand everything, but I'm sure until that point you guys will give me all the support in the world, as you always do, you legends. So yeah, a couple of things that we'll run through then. So first of all, a couple of absentees tonight. I think we've got Hammer Time, the current championship leader. We'll go through that in just a moment. He's missing due to work. We have got Zombie missing. I think he had some other form of commitments, and I'm sure there's a couple of others missing indeed. I've just got a lot to focus on at the minute. I've got two different screens on the go and it's a little bit overwhelming. So like I said, everything might not be perfect tonight. Please make sure that you give us all your support that we can get. Obviously your comments are coming through up on the screen now as well, so keep it as well, let's not get too personal, eh? You will see as well, obviously we've got the FTRL logo sporting it in the bottom corner of the screen now, and up in the top right hand corner any new subscribers that we do have will be appearing on there. So if you're not subscribed already, please make sure to do so, and that would be massively appreciated. But back to the matter at hand, we're here at Zandvoort for the very first time, and I'm keen to see how these boys are going to get on. It's a very technical circuit, it's a very short lap, and there's a lot of off-camber corners and a lot of opportunities to make some mistakes. So I'm keen to see how the boys are going to get on tonight. Just looking in the stream chat, we've got Max, we've got Nexus Cats, Agent Panda, City Posh. Good evening and good luck to you all. What we will do first of all is we will bring up the current Division 2 standings. So if we look up on the screen now, we can see that FTRL Hammer Time is our current championship leader on 39 points, followed by the man that we're currently on board with and you now can't see, Bread is Your Daddy, on 35 points. And then we've got a double whammy of Agent Panda and Goy Carp on 30 points each, and then FTRL Blue Flag rounding off the top 5 on 24. With the new points format for the season, it's looking very tasty indeed. And yeah, there's a lot of very close battles throughout the championship, and obviously with the championship leader missing, Bread is Your Daddy only has to score 4 points or more to overtake him. So I would probably put my money on him being championship leader by the end of this race, but for any mistakes. And yeah, we can go from there. We can see that the Renault boys of Agent Panda and Oscar are the current constructors leaders. And in the bottom right of this graphic here, which is brilliantly designed by Mikey, he doesn't get anywhere near enough credit as he should in FTRL. His graphics have once again prevailed, and we're able to see a comparison between the qualifying boys. A lot of the boys are level pegging, so it's kind of like a teammate battle for qualifying positions. And yeah, the graphics look absolutely superb. So once again, Mikey, your work does not go unnoticed, my friend. If everybody in the stream chat, can you just confirm that you can see everything on the screen, the sound's okay, nothing's too over the top, and that would be great. So I'll just get rid of that now. Beautiful. Right, so back to the matter at hand. So yes, we're currently on board with Bread is Your Daddy, who is no longer on a flying lap. So we're going to go down and find Agent Panda, who I believe is on a flying lap. And then Renault, like I said, we will go through a full lap guide at some stage during qualifying. And I'm also very interested to see what tyres everybody's going to be looking at. So it seemed last night to be quite an easy, straightforward. Well, I suppose you can either do one or two stop really. You've got the softs and the hard tyres, and which were the more likely and the most used last night, but obviously if you do get damage early on, the two stop can work, and the medium tyres actually feel quite nice around here. Nexus Cats, I am aware of your comment, mate. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. Just yeah, it's alright. I will more than likely be doing it, mate, so we'll just relax. All good. Thank you for all the birthday wishes in the stream chat. Much appreciated. 28 years old today. I feel like I'm getting old now, boys. It's been a long time I've been doing this for. And yeah, starting to feel like an old man. So soon I'll be as old as Junkie Sport, and nobody wants that. So, right. So, okay. One more thing to mention about this new game capture device that we've got as well. Obviously, that won't always be the case for every single stream now. It's only obviously when I do any form of commentary, because it's me that owns it. It's not an FTRL thing. So unfortunately it will only be when I'm about, but you know, all in good time. We'll see what happens, but for now we will make do with what we've got, and hopefully add more and more bits as we go through. I'm hoping to do a lot more regular commentary now as well, so that would be great. Right, let's go on board with somebody who's looking to possibly be on a flying lap. FTRL blue flag is that person. He's coming towards the end of his lap, where we've got a couple of very tricky corners. And he comes around the final corner. Is he going to improve? No, he's going to dive back in the pits, but he's going well so far, P3. I know he's found the adjustment a little bit difficult thus far. Now, who is sitting nicely is Pagani. He's currently done his best lap time on the medium tyre and he's in P5. So Pagani is very much odds on for a good result here. Obviously we had Adam Acko last week, who picked up a win at Silverstone on debut, an extremely good performance from him. So I'm actually going to go down and we're going to do a comparison via the leader on track. No, I'm not going grey yet, Michael, unfortunately, mate. So I'm avoiding all of that for now. But what we will do now is we'll have a quick comparison as to how the boys are getting on compared to last night's qualifying as well. So I'll bring that up on the screen, and we will be able to see if we kind of look at it from that point of view. So at the moment, pole is a 109.8, which is Adam Acko. Last night's pole time was a 108.6, so he's about 1.2 seconds off on that perspective. But I mean, with a lot of the current positions on the grid, we'll probably be looking at the bottom end of what would be the point scoring positions in F1. So I imagine we're going to see some improvements on time. But it's a very close lap, and like we saw last night, there was quite a lot of people that were within a couple of tenths of one another. We saw a lot of groups on track and whatnot as well. So you know, we'll hopefully see that, and we'll be able to kind of go further into the race with more packs hopefully on the grid. So making his debut in Div 2 tonight as well as Casey Bernard. He didn't think he was going to be able to race. He did drop down from Division 1 at the start of the season, but he's, with alternative commitments, he is now able to race, and that is fantastic to see. So what I will do is go on board with Pagani. Is he coming around to start a flying lap, or is he going back into the pits? Let's have a look. Pagani is diving back into the pits. So I really want to get hold of somebody who's just starting a lap. Possibly Goy Karp. There we go, perfect. So on board with Goy Karp in towards turn 1, one of the best overtaking opportunities on the track. Going to be downshifting to second, early upshift to third. He opts to go for fourth. Heading up through turn 2, and turn 3 is a nice sweeping right, which you can downshift quickly afterwards down to second gear, quick upshift to third, to make sure that you get the most amount of traction possible out of that corner. And we've got a long sweeping few section of corners here, heading down towards a fast right, which can be very tricky. You don't really have to brake there. You can lose a lot of time. You can also gain a lot of time if you do get it right. Then we've got a double right-hander. Again, a couple of auto spin curves through here as we approach the main DRS section, other than main straight. But Goy takes it pretty nicely. It's a nice curb on exit, and he's got DRS open, heading down towards the end of sector 2. Gets the curb pretty much spot on, a little bit too deep through that corner there. He's down into second, upshifting to third again as we approach the last couple of corners. Downshift to fourth he wants to go to. Rides too much curb there, it's going to lose him a few tenths. Heading down towards the line. Goy is going to dive back into the pits. There we go. So, not the best lap there from Goy. But it's like we've seen, it's a very technical circuit here at Zandvoort. But one that a lot of the guys are, it's kind of a 50-50 split, to be honest with you. Yes, Michael, the stream chat is on the screen. Yes, mate. Okay, FTRL blue flag. A nice sort of downshift down into P6. sorry, gear 6 should I say. In towards his sweep, and if you don't want to touch the inside curve there, it's basically an auto spin curve, as a lot of them are around here. A few of the guys found it out for themselves last night. It caught out even the best. We saw Dutch Tricks take a couple of spins, lost the car once in qualifying, once in the race as well. Blue flag approaching the end of his lap. He seems to be not backing out from it, so I think he's got a bit of confidence in the lap. Heading down towards the final corner, rises up lovely towards the outside, and it's straight hammer down towards the line. Is he going to improve? He does. He goes up to P2. He's taken 3/10 of a second out of his lap time there. Nice job from Blue Flag. I must say as well, guys, where I'm very, very limited in terms of knowledge on how this new device works, which brings everything up on the screen. You can hear me and the game sound. I cannot hear anything. I've got no game sound or anything. So it's I'm kind of going into it blind. It really throws you off when you haven't got the engine noises and whatnot as well, so it's really off-putting, so bear with me. It'd probably be quite a crap stream tonight, and I do highly apologise, but we'll have to make do, and we'll soldier on for next week. Right, we're going to go down and find Pagani, who is on a flying lap. He's at the start of a flying lap. He's gone out on a soft tyre. Pagani is one of the favourites for a good result tonight, I'd say, providing he keeps out of the wall. We know how good he can be. He's kind of found his mojo back a little bit. Now, how is he looking? He's up by half a second at the moment, so that's going to currently put him probably P2 before he's even got round sector 2 or 3. So Pagani's looking racy. He needs to get a good exit out of this corner, a good run down the straight. DRS wide open in towards the chicane, which leads you through to the final couple of corners. Pagani's 9/10 of a second up. This is going to be close. If he nails this, he could be looking for a pole position here for Pagani. A provisional pole, should I say. In towards the penultimate corner, downshifts to 5th, gets a nice run off the curb on the outside. Pagani heading towards the line. DRS is open. We're looking at a 7, an 8, a 9. Pagani goes pole, 109.6. So he's taken a large chunk of time out of his previous lap, and he's currently on pole by just under 2/10 of a second. Great job from Pagani, and I reckon he can probably go quicker. So I'm sure we're going to see a couple of changes towards the end of qualifying. Must be said, nice to see TRS back once again, becoming a bit of an FTRL OG. Been around for a while now. Lovely to see him on track as always. Some lovely, lovely guys in this division. One of which, FTRL Mikey, who's currently having another go on the medium tyre. So I feel like maybe he's got a bit of confidence and he can possibly improve and start the race on the medium. So let's have a look and see what Mikey can do. I'm also intrigued to see where Goy Carp ends up, because like we've seen, him and Agent Panda currently 12th and 14th in this qualifying session, but there's absolutely no comparison as to how they've been doing in the league. No representation as well. They've like I said, sitting joint 3rd in the league at the minute. Mikey takes quite a wide line through that corner there, but he needs to recover. Let's see how he's looking towards the end of sector 2. He's up by 3/10 of a second. So Mikey could break into the top 10 here if he carries on with his lap on the medium tyres, which would not be the worst thing to do. However, it is quite difficult, as we saw last night in Division 1, for the guys to overtake. There's Mikey going to stay tight and go back in the pits. No, he's not. He's going to carry on. He's got a 110.7. and that's put him in P8 on the medium tyres. He might be able to get round now. It's going to be quite tight. Maybe slap on a set of soft tyres and maybe go for broke at the end. Agent Panda, let's go and see what he's up to. Casey Bernardo tyres, currently in P5. Not quite a good position for him to start. I said it's really qualifying so crucial at a track like this, because we, like I said to you, a lot of the track is very much single file. There's not really many overtaking spots. Turn 1's probably your best option, to be honest, possibly into that chicane here at the end of the DRS straight, but you have to really be alongside because it is quite a sharp right. It's almost like a right angle. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it, mate. I would like to have everybody's names in different colours and all sorts as well. I will get there eventually. I'm hoping to have some other video clips and all of these screen transitions and stuff. Unfortunately, I'm a bit of a technophobe and just basically a bit stupid. Also, now I'm streaming from PC, there is a good chance I may be able to get joined by a co-commentator, and that person is Mr. Joe Burns. So that might be an unlikely duo returning to commentary, but we'll have to wait and see, because Joe obviously will struggle to find it and be able to watch the race live, because he obviously owns just a PC now. So we'll have to see if we can find a way to make that work. If we can, the return of Joe Burns will be quite welcomed, I think. Complete FTRL legend. AJ's starting a lap and he's got traffic absolutely everywhere. Currently down in P11, and you certainly want to improve. He's not got much battery left either, so probably not the wisest thing to do to go on with AJ at this point. Goy Carp, I apologise Goy, he slapped himself up into P4, so he's done about a 1:10.2, so a very, very good lap. Hello Joe Burns, I knew you'd be lurking about somewhere. Yeah mate, we'll have a chat about that, Joe, see if we can find a way to make that work. I'm a bit overwhelmed at the minute. I've got the stream on, well, I've got the race on my PlayStation, I've got the stream open next to me, I've got the comments to my left, I need to look to my right to control the game. So it's how these streamers do it, God knows. But yeah, so like I said, I'm going to get quite overwhelmed tonight, I imagine, at some stage, especially if it ends up being a good race. My attention's going to be all over the place. So, and I would be lying if I said there was no alcohol consumed today. So, you know, things happen. These things happen. Wake up. He's finished. Is he going to come around to do another lap? No, he's going to dive into the pits. Pagani's on a lap. On board of the current pole sitter. Adamaco is on track, so Pagani knows he's going to have to probably improve. He's currently 0.2 of a second up on his time, so Pagani going pretty strong. Downshifts to, he stays in fourth for that corner. I thought he would have gone down to third. Definitely wants to go down to third down here. Nice touch of the curb on the outside. DRS open down towards the chicane. Needs to take a tiny bit of curb on the inside. Does that very nicely. Downshift to second. Hug the inside curb. Accelerate hard on exit. Does that very nicely. Does Pagani. Downshift to fourth, and what is the last tricky corner. He stays in fifth. Fair enough. Accelerates out nicely. Gets a good drive. DRS open. It's a 107, it's a 108, it's a 109.4. Pagani has done what he can. Where is Adamaco? He's coming around the penultimate corner. He's 0.2 of a second up on his time at the moment. Is he going to have enough on this final straight to trouble Pagani, or is Pagani going to wrap up pole position? Adamaco finishes just over a tenth behind Pagani. Bread is your daddy's pulled out of his lap as well. No, he's not. I'm lying, I just can't hear the car. So DRS is open for Adamaco, for Bread is your daddy. Down into second. He doesn't look like he's had the cleanest run through here, I must say. Nevertheless, we'll see how it unfolds. We think really he's going to be the last possible threat to Pagani's time, but I didn't think he was on a completely flying lap there. But that, to me, looks like everybody. So Pagani takes pole position. It's a sight we've not seen for a long time. He's had a break from Formula 1 and he's come back with a vengeance, and it is lovely to see. One of the most well, self-proclaimed most miserable drivers we've probably got on track, but one of the most loved. So Pagani gets himself pole position on my birthday, so I will be coming out with the cheesy comments after the race to wind him up. Unfortunately, no podium interviews tonight either, guys. Like I said, it's I cannot hear anybody, so if I went to a party chat on PlayStation, nobody would hear me and I wouldn't hear them. So we'll get it fixed, we'll get it amended. We may have to do them in Discord going forward, but we shall see. But yeah, Pagani looking strong. A lot of chat from Joe Burns and City Posh Blue in the chat. Thank you all very much for tuning in. I can't actually see how many live viewers we've got, so I'll nip into the stream chat on my phone, probably hear myself and make myself jump. We shall see. Okay, so currently 17 people in the stream chat. Thank you all very much. Keep those comments coming in. I will always do my best to read them all out. I'm just waiting for the qualifying session to finish. Mikey, AJ and Rampage yet to retire the car, probably giving themselves a minute in this incredible heat. But yes, a shame to see Megatron not racing tonight as well. I think he's been having internet troubles. Lives up basically near Iceland he's that far north of Scotland, and they've had horrendous thunderstorms. So hopefully it's all up and running soon, and we'll see him back on track, and we'll get to hear the wonders of Rolo. But yes, as we unwind, I'm just going to take a sip of drink before we get underway for 36 laps of Zandvoort for the first ever time in Division 2 in FTRL. We'll be back very, very soon. Okay, so we've got FTRL, Pagani and Adamaco occupying the front row. Brad is your daddy, and Goy Carper's having a very, very strong season on the second row. FTRL Blue Flag, best qualifying of the season so far from him, followed by constructors leader Oscar in the Renault in P6, Casey Bernard and TRS on the fourth row of the grid, and just Mikey H starting on P9 on the medium tyre with Matt Mann in P10 for company. Then we've got Max Def in P11 with Agent Panda alongside him. Row number 7 is occupied by AJ and Lee Cole, and then finally Rampage and the No Time FTRL Oven rounding off the grid. So just before we get underway, we'll just have a quick look at the predicted pit stop strategy. So as we're looking here, as we saw last night, you are looking probably at a softer hard, but then again you can do a double soft medium or a soft and double medium if you want to. Obviously that you track position is very, very important around here, but if you feel like you've got a good pace, the two stop might not be the worst idea in the world. We saw a couple of people use that last night, myself included. Carried a lot of confidence in the race, but for early incidents I feel like I could have got a very strong result, and I know Scuba did as well on the two stop. But the guys at one stop did win the race, but Division 2 anything can happen. Let's see whether Pagani and what Adamaco do towards the front, but the first couple of laps is really going to shape this race more so than most others. Kit your predictions into the stream chat, guys. Let me know your podium predictions. 21 people watching the stream, so thank you all very, very much for tuning in. And we're about to get underway. It looks like it's going to be nice clear weather. Yeah, get your predictions in for us, chaps. 22 people watching as we get underway for the formation lap. So, Pagani leads us in the Alpha Tauri. He's certainly going to be feeling a little bit of pressure towards the front there. It's been a while since he's been that far up. He's carrying quite a good pace so far in this game. So we shall see how he prevails come the end of the race. He's headed off quite quickly. Adamaco in P2, obviously a strong showing last week. We know what his race pace is all about. He seemed to go very, very strong last week, and I imagine he will this week. Brad is your daddy. Well, he and Pagani had a little bit of a clash last week at Silverstone, where Pagani ended up with some damage. So let's hope there's no repeat of that tonight. Then we've got Goy Carp in P4 looking really, really strong. If Goy can have a solid race tonight around one of the most technical circuits on the calendar, he will certainly carry a lot of confidence through to the rest of the season. Blue Flag as well. He's certainly been getting into his GT sim racing on Assetto Corsa Competizione and Gran Turismo Sport. Venturing back into F1, this will certainly give him a little bit of confidence to be this high up the grid again. And we've got Oscar down in P6, certainly improving as the weeks go on. Casey Bernard in P7. Let's see how he fares. He didn't have the best of times in week 1 of Division 1, but he's certainly looking a little bit more at home down here in Div 2. TRS, we know all about TRS, we know what he can do. We know he can certainly contend for podiums when he wants to as well. It's just about finding his rhythm. Then we've got Mikey, who's in a pretty strong position considering he is on the medium tyre to start the race. We'll start off on the tyres, there we go. Then we've got Matt Mann down in P10. Max Def in P11, a couple of returning drivers from last season. Agent Panda probably not going to be too happy being down in P12, but he's certainly shown a lot of pace and he's put a lot of practice in as well. Maybe not as much this week as he would have liked, but either way I'm still expecting him to go forwards rather than backwards in this race. AJ down in P13, you won't be too happy with that. He's been contesting for podiums and certainly getting quicker as these weeks go by in FTRL. With Lee Cole as well, I think he didn't have the best qualifying session. I think he was saying he was looking at being P5 if but for an invalidation or a mistake. And we've got Rampage and an Oven who's starting on the hard tyres down in P16, so he's playing his cards early as we prepare for lights out for round number 3 of season 14. I can't believe we're that far into FTRL already, but we get ready. It's 4 lights, it's 5 lights, and it's lights out. Away we go. Pagani's had a pretty good start. Adam Mako seems to have kind of matched him, but I think Pagani's going to have the run into turn 1. He goes quite deep. Adam Mako's probably going to go through. They're going to run side by side. Quite brave from these two. A little bit of a wheel bang. Hopefully there's no contact in towards turn 3. Pagani holds the inside line. Bread is your daddy coming up the inside as well, but Pagani manages to just hold on. These timing screens are absolutely all over the place at the minute. But Adam Mako is right on the back of Pagani, trying to put him under some early pressure. Pagani's having absolutely none of it. Bread is your daddy right on the back of these guys as well. Casey Bernard's up a couple of positions up into P4. Goy Karp's lost one. Blue Flag's lost a couple as well. Bread is your daddy putting Adam Mako under some pressure. Pagani needs to run away and let these two scrap behind him. Get himself a nice positive start throughout for the race indeed. Lee Cole is up to P7 from P14. He's gone up 7 positions. So Lee is absolutely flying at the minute as Goy Kart runs wide. There's contact between Lee and Goy. Lee sideways, just about manages to save it. It's quite an easy corner to lose some traction out there. But back towards the leaders. Pagani still under pressure from Adam Mako. He's going to have a run into turn 1, 100%. Pagani might just yield position here. I'm not too sure if he's going to fight that too hard. It looks like he's going to. They're going to go side by side again. The two of them. Adam Mako comes across the front of Pagani. And Pagani's lost a bit of front wing. He's clattered into the back of him. Easy to catch you out around that corner there. And Adam Mako's going to be able to roam free. Now, is Pagani got awful damage or can he hold it at the moment? He's not going to be best pleased with that, is Pagani. Blue Flag's managed to get past Casey Bernard as well, so I think Lee and Goy's tangle has enabled him to put himself back up into P4. Can't believe Lee Cole's start. He's up 8 positions now. He's absolutely flying. Whoever's got Lee's controller, can you please give it back to him? Goy Karp settling down to the race. He's lost 3 positions, but I think he'll feel fairly confident being able to get that back. Pagani's lost almost 2 seconds now. So I imagine he's probably going to dive into the pits, is he? Or is he going to carry on? Pagani looks slow down that straight. Not deploying his ERS though. Trying to play it sensibly. I think he's maybe going to try and ride it out and go for a sensible 2-stop. But Pagani's not going to be best happy. Goy Karp, Casey Bernard has had an incident, I believe. Yeah, and a few guys, Goy Karp, Oscar, have gone through. Agent Bander's up to P10. Moved up a couple of positions. Ovens up. Oh, I'm pretty sure I just saw something occur there. I think Rampage had a bit of a moment. Ovens up from P16 to P12 on the hard tyre, like I said, so he's playing his cards early. He's going to be very fast towards the end of the race. Pagani has had a moment. He's lost out to Lee and to Goy and Blue Flag as well, so Pagani I think needs to get himself into the pits, because those medium tyres can go 16-17 laps if they need to, so it's obviously hampering him. But Adam Mako looks to be on his way as he begins lap number 4 of 36. Where is your daddy still sitting about 3 seconds behind? Let's check what Pagani does. Yeah, he dives into the pits, and I'm imagining we're going to see him go onto the medium tyre. Let's double check what tyres are out. Yes, it is medium. So back to the matter at hand. Lee Cole and Goy Karp. That's a bit of a mouthful. Running side by side. Lee trying to get a switch back on Goy. Goy loses traction a little bit. Lee still manages to... Oh, that was close. I thought there was going to be some contact there between the two. Mikey's had an accident. Mikey's down towards the back of the grid. Has he lost any wing? No, he hasn't. He's just obviously had a spin somewhere. auto spin curbs around here, but Mikey's going to be very disappointed with that. Well, he must have just pitted actually. But Pagani's out of the pits in P15, not a million miles away from the rest of the field. I imagine he'll be able to get himself back up through them. The medium tyres feel quite nice around here. So let's have a look through some of the closer battles on track. Agent Panda goes up the inside of Matman, gets it all wrong, runs himself out to the gravel, going to lose a position to TRS as well. So Agent Panda from a potential P8 he drops himself down into P10 under pressure from P11 FTRL Avenue. He's had a really positive start. Obviously drove really well last week, but ended up having an accident right towards the end of the race at Silverstone. He has got absolutely no battery left either. I think a lot of the guys are thinking it's a lot easier to save the battery than what it actually is. It's the overtake button on this game is literally meant for if you are pushing for an overtake. If you try and use it when you're pushing to gain some time back on people, you're just going to end up being slower because you've got no battery at all and the car ends up being affected by that. So a few people getting caught out by that. Casey Bernard right in the back of Oscar. An intriguing battle forming for P6. The guys are starting to take shape now throughout the grid. Goikarp and Lee fighting nicely for P4. Lee's up 10 places so far. Unbelievable stuff. Blue flag going well in the final podium position. Yeah, Michael's saying he could have maintained a one stop, a bit hard, but yeah, I think he just felt confident. I think his initial idea was to maybe do a two stop anyway. He was talking to me about it earlier on, so. But Mikey has managed to get past Pagani, so I don't know whether he's had a moment or Mikey's just carrying a little bit more speed at the moment. But Pagani's certainly not enjoying the best of starts to this race, but anything can happen. Safety cars obviously could affect the race as well. And there's a big train forming behind Agent Panda. He's got FTRL Oven and he's got AJ as well. Just in front of that you've got TRS and Matman. So there's 5 cars in the battle for P8 and there's a nice little train forming behind Lee as well. A lot of drivers in between sort of half a second to a second. City Poshing with tyre wear is horrendous around here. Yeah, to be fair I didn't find it too bad. It's just you can certainly feel it towards the end of the race. 100%. But boys still going strong. Everybody putting solid laps in at the minute. Adamako is checking out 4.5 seconds. He did say though that he was he's got a mistake in him around here, so we shall wait and see if he can keep it on the track, or whether he slips up. Just as I say that, it's the fastest lap of the race on lap number 6, so he's feeling confident. He's certainly carrying some momentum around here. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. FTRL Oven is round and he's lost his wing coming out of the final corner. And now he's just driven straight into the wall on the other side. And now all of the back marker cars are going to be coming past. He's now sitting there. He needs to be careful he doesn't get himself disqualified from the race. Yeah, into the pits. He's lost out on those tyres well, early doors on the hards. Could have been his saving grace. Pagani's struggling a little bit to get those tyres up to temperature. Holding a lot of battery though. We are under a virtual safety car. Red as Your Daddy gets himself a drive-through for speeding under the virtual safety car. So that's going to really damage him. I'm sure I saw something else before that, but I couldn't quite see who that was. Was that Adamako? But we're back racing. Let's see if Bread is Your Daddy, does he take his penalty now? He's only got 3 laps to do it in. No, he's going to carry on. Goikarp, DRS open on Lee Cole. He's in overtake as well. Goy's carrying some speed, got a lot of battery to deploy as well. Lee's managing this quite nicely, but Goy's almost completely full. Agent Panda 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So he's dived in to do a stop onto this soft tyre. So he must have had an incident somewhere. and TRS is also into the pits, and maybe those two have collided along the way. But FTRL Ovens really suffered from this. Yellow flag in sector 1. Max Def is round. I definitely feel like we're going to see a safety car tonight. I really do. A few of the guys dropping the car. All it takes is a retirement and that safety car will be straight out of the car's middle of the track. Much improved from Codemasters this year, but Max is going to really suffer. There's a lot of really tight twisty corners, and as you can see he's struggling a hell of a lot to get the car back to the pits. He's still got over half a lap to do it in. Let's go back to Goy Karp as he's on the attack with Lee Cole. Doesn't get the best run off the penultimate corner, and nevertheless he's going to have DRS. He's got his overtake open. This could be a move. Goy Karp towards the outside. He's going to try to switch back up the inside of Lee. Yes he is. Can he hold the traction? Lee manages to just hold on. Goy going towards the outside. Breaks nice and early. Can he get a cut back through there as well? No, he can't. Sensible stuff from Goy. Loses a little bit of time on traction. Lee defending well. He needs to be careful he doesn't change his line too much. Pagani's managed to recover up to P10. So he's slowly creeping his way back up through the field. There is a gap, however, to AJ in front. So Pagani needs to utilise that clean air. Oscar picks himself up a 3-second penalty. Goy Karp and Lee still scrapping. I feel like this is going to be possibly a race-long battle between these two. Lee needs to not touch those auto-spin curbs. Goy deploys his DRS. But Lee driving very well indeed. Goy Karp mirroring that. Okay Max, it's probably not the time to tell me that now, buddy. You carry on racing and we deal with that afterwards. I'm trying to commentate on it, mate. Yeah. Lee seems to be doing everything he can at the moment. FTRL blue flag is inherited P2. Brady's your daddy has served his drive-through penalty. So he is now about 5.5 seconds behind Goy Karp, so he's lost a hell of a lot of time. Adam Mako has now got 7.7 seconds to his nearest rival, which is blue flag. Anything else happening on track? Yes, we have. We've got AJ and Casey Bernard going side by side. Oh, AJ tried to get a nice cut back out of that hairpin, but it's so easy to drop the car through there. You have to be so careful on traction. You're going to hear me saying that a lot tonight, but it's just true. AJ looking pretty quick. He's certainly gone up the grid. Pagani's very close to Oscar. There's been contact. Pagani's found himself with more damage. And he's going from bad to worse for Pagani. I've literally gone on board and you can see his front left end plate is missing. So I'm not entirely sure what's happened. But I did see he was very close to Oscar at that point. So... yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's happened to Pagani, but he's really going to struggle now. Maybe he should just pop into the pits and pop the hards on. FTRL Oven has retired from the session. Are we going to see a safety car? Now would be the perfect time. Pit window is now open for those starting on the softs. Pagani pops into the pits to go onto the hard tyres. Still yellow flag sector 2, so I'm wondering if we are seeing a safety car. I don't think we are. No, we're not. Unfortunate for Oven, who's now left the session. Oscar's picked himself up a 5-second penalty for crossing the pit lane exit. Pagani is now back with battling Oscar. So we'll stay on board with Pagani for this one. Really not enjoyed the best start to this race. Things can change very quickly in FTRL. And as multiple people say, it usually does. Oscar's a little bit wayward in front of Pagani. They're both closing down onto TRS as well. In the battle for P12. Agent Pan has just made a move on Rampage. But we're going to stay with Pagani for just a minute. Yellow flag in sector 1. Is yellow flags going everywhere? I would be really shocked if we don't see. There we go, it's a virtual safety car. I'm not entirely sure what's just happened. Is it something go-kart related? Doesn't look like it. But Lee's inherited the race lead. Go-kart has pitted, so I imagine, I mean, you would have thought there would have been an undercut, but there's not. Pagani is still on the back of Oscar. He's got completely full battery, as has Oscar, to be fair. But surely we're going to be ready to go racing any time now. I don't know if I've got a visual glitch, whether it is still a virtual safety car or not. I mean, it appears so. Must have been some hefty damage for that to happen. Yeah, TRS driving through penalty for speeding under the VSC. So that's going to help these two guys. Blue flag, 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane as well. There's a lot of penalties happening tonight. We didn't see too much of this last night in Division 1. But that's why we love Division 2, is a lot of unpredictability to it. Pagani got the run on Oscar now, pushing him around the corner basically. DRS is open. Pagani's using his battery. Is he going to take a look down in towards turn 1? Yes, he is. Oscar closes the door on Pagani, but Pagani squeezes through, gets it done, as Pagani does. Lovely move. Had 2 wheels on the track, got the opportunity, well, sees the opportunity and converts it into a move. So Pagani inherits another position after what has been, let's be honest, quite a dreadful start to the race for him. He's gone from pole down to P11, so he's not going to be too pleased. However, he's still only 2.2 seconds behind FTRL blue flag, so I can imagine that might have been what the virtual safety car was for. Lee Cole has pitted and come out in P2, and Goy Karp is in P3, so that VSC's massively helped Lee out. AJ's still not pitted. He probably has missed an opportunity there, considering we just had a VSC. A lot of the guys on the hard tyres, Agent Panda and Mikey on the softs, blue flag on the mediums. I imagine he's going to be pitting again for softs towards the end of the race. And Mikey's boxed for hard tyres as well. So the field's kind of evened itself out a little bit. Max and Rampage are resuming battle. These two had a little bit of to do earlier on. Let's see if anything happens between these two gentlemen. Approaching the midway point of the race, and AJ's got within DRS range of Goy Karp. You're going to have to excuse me, guys, by the way. I'm going to pop a fan on, so you might hear a tiny bit of noise in the background, but given the heat, I think you can all understand why. It is incredibly warm. But as everything's died down, we'll take an opportunity to have a quick look at the calendar. So next week we will be bringing you the action live from Montreal in Canada as we hit a third of the way through the FTRL season, and then we have got the infamous Monaco Grand Prix the week after. So the races don't get any easier in FTRL. Then we shortly after a couple of weeks we'll see the debut of the Vietnam Grand Prix. Not the most popular track on the grid, I can tell you that much, before we approach the end of the season, where we've got a few lovely tracks indeed. Hungary, Brazil, Belgium, Bahrain, some FTRL classics have happened there, and I imagine we'll see some more. So yeah, we'll revisit that towards the end of the Grand Prix today, but whilst it died down, I thought I would bring that to you. Can you guys just confirm who are still watching that there isn't too much noise coming from the fan on the microphone? If so, I will just turn it off and sweat. But if it's not too bad, that would be great. Asian Bandits picks himself up another penalty. Goykarp has managed to get AJ out of DRS range. And aside from that, there's not really any battles. I thought we'd probably see a few very, very close to one another. Pagani has closed blue flag. Yellow flag in sector 2. Just trying to see who that is. It's so difficult commentating without any game sound. It really, really is. Casey Bernard seems to be going pretty steady. Agent Panda is on the soft tyre behind him. 7 up holds soft, so we'll keep an eye on that because I imagine that gap will come down. But Casey Bernard is now putting Matman under some pressure. He's going well on P6, it must be said. But we're looking like an Adamaco win here today, but for any mistakes, I think it's quite glaringly obvious to sort of make that statement now as we approach the midway point of the race. Just the one retirement so far from FTRL Oven. Like I said, if anybody's in here that hasn't already subscribed to FTRL, please do. Well, one, because obviously we appreciate the support, and two, I would quite like to see if my new graphic works. But that's just me. Okay, AJ has pitted from the medium tyre and gone onto the hards, so he's gone quite late on his pit stop. He took the mediums probably a little bit longer than what they should have gone, and he's come out in between the battle between the two Alpha Tauris of Blue Flag and Pagani in the battle for P8. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1 and 2. It's difficult to see, there's not really much. Okay, yes there is. Agent Panda's gone. And then we've got a yellow flag in sector 3 as well. So we've got yellow flags coming out of our ears in a minute. Asian Panda not having the best time today. The constructors leaders are down in P10 and 11 respectively, but neither of them will be happy with that. Goykarp is now closing in on Lee Cole, so maybe Lee's had a bit of a moment somewhere. He's still got all of his wing. Bread is your daddy, struggling to keep pace with Goy. He's looking very, very strong this season, it must be said. Now, Pagani is very, very close to AJ. So we're going to quickly see a battle forming for P8. And Blue Flag is only 1.8 seconds behind Casey Bernard. So this is going to be quite a tasty little battle now for the next few laps. Pagani all over the back of AJ, heading down towards the fast right in the middle sector. Just to wait and pick his moment. AJ is going to be pretty fast as well. Pagani's on warmer tyres. So where can he make his move? He definitely looks quicker at this point. Pagani, bunny hops the inside curb, but gets the move done past AJ. AJ goes deep into the corner. A little bit of lag coming from behind as well. Quite a lot of lag coming from behind. And the blue flag has closed right up to the back of Casey Bernard as well. Pagani is now closing in on his teammate, and he's closing fast. AJ is lagging horrendously, so we won't look at that. Pagani versus Blue Flag, battle that has been alive since F1 2017. City Boss Blue in the chat saying Lee's had a superb race so far, halfway mark and maybe on for a podium. I think he should be. Well, coming from P14 to P2, it's probably one of the best races I've ever seen Lee have at this point. So he will be absolutely delighted with that, as will Goykarp. British Daddy's taking about half a second out of Goy, so he just needs to be aware, maintain his pace. But the closest battle on track is the battle between the two Alpha Tauris. Pagani back in his rhythm now. Even after his earlier instance, he still finds himself on the back of P6. So it really is a race of what could have been. Blue Flag must have had enough at some point as well. I'll be very, very impressed if he can take these medium tyres to the end of the race. So keep an eye out for that. Blue flag may have to pit again. Don't jinx him, Aaron. Well, unfortunately, mate, I have to. He wouldn't hesitate to do the same thing to me. But no, I think it's past that point now. I've been commentating for so long and the part of FTRL for so long, I don't think anybody can have a pop for jinxing him. But Pagani's edging closer to blue flag. He's just got to pick his moment. It definitely seems faster. Blue flag's got a lot less battery than Pagani. On board of the AlphaTauri driver. And who is that in front there? Is that Matman? No, that is a lapped car of Rampage, I believe. They are closing in on Matman pretty quickly as well. 4.5 seconds is the gap. British Daddy's down to 3.8 to Goy, who has lost out a little bit to Lico. Pagani, could we see a move this lap? Is he close enough? No, he goes a little bit deep out of penultimate corner. It's probably going to hamper his chances this lap. Yellow flag in sector 1. That is British Daddy. He's round at turn 1. He's dropped it. Has he got any damage? Can we see any damage on the car? He seems okay for now. But that's given Goy some breathing space. And that's brought him right into the clutches of Matman. And in this battle between the two AlphaTauris behind. Pagani following blue flag round, just lurking and waiting. AJ's 2.3 off, so he's definitely falling off these guys. Pagani looks the quicker at the moment, but blue flag is on the faster tyre, so I imagine we're going to see a switch for tyres, well, in tyre wear and capacity of speed at some stage in the next maybe 4 or 5 laps. But Pagani will hope to get the move done prior to that. But he may have to wait it out if he can't get these can't get his foot down out of the corners. Yeah, Michael Bread's rear tyre is going to be hot after that spin. They are indeed. Oh, Lee Cole, 5 second penalty. He was speeding in the pit lane. Why is Lee pitting? Onto the soft tyre. I'll be honest, I don't think I've been as confused as I am now for quite some time. Lee has come out and slotted in between blue flag and Pagani, so that's going to really get under Pagani's skin. I imagine Lee should make light work. Blue flag wing change, yeah, but I mean soft tyres was a very strange call, because I mean he'll do well to get them that far into the race. Oh, blue flag just cutting across Lee. Fair enough. Lee needs to pick his moment, not get too desperate, but that currently means Goy Karp's in P2 and he's got a 10-second gap there as well. 13 laps to go, just got to bring the car home at this point. Matman just a couple of seconds up the road as well, so he's going to be looking frantically over his shoulder at these guys. Now these guys won't be in a party together. Pagani and blue flag might, but Lee will be talking to AJ. Pagani's got a much better run out the corner than what Lee has. Pagani has got his DRS open. He should have the inside line for turn 1. Lee cuts across him. Little bit of tyre bumping. Lee's going to have to tuck in behind Pagani, is he? Pagani going for a switchback. Lee cuts across it. Pagani should have this done now. Side by side. A lot of tyre banging. Lee manages to hold on. Those soft tyres prevailing in that battle. Pagani does look fast. I think he's just trying to be as careful as possible. Lee looked very, very wobbly through that complex there. Got Zombie in the chat saying, go on yellow shorts. Pagani takes a lot of that inside curb there. Surely that would lose him a little bit of time. Blue Flag's been able to put himself a little bit of a gap now. He is now rapidly closing in on Matman. 1.2 seconds is the gap. And then they're 5 up the road from Bread Is Your Daddy. We've already seen has had a mistake in him. So these guys need to keep going because there is still a potential podium on the cards here. Obviously pending any mistakes from those ahead. He's got close again to Lee Cole. Lee's got close to Blue Flag. And Blue Flag is now close to Matman. Lee's made a mistake. Pagani's been spooked. Gone onto the gravel. Going to try and look up the inside. Blue Flag's round. And that's wing damage for Lee and for Pagani for the 3rd time in this race. But Lee's been taken out by a spinning Blue Flag. And Pagani's ended up with the damage once again. He is going to be so pissed off right now. But what does Pagani do in this situation? Does he pit? Does he just carry on? I mean, he's on hard tyres with wing damage. Is it time to just put the softs on and go for it? What we're going to see Pagani do, yeah, he's going to dive into the pits. Soft tyres is probably the way to go. Let's see what he does, but Blue Flags drops it. Lee's had to come to the pits again after being on the soft tyres for literally 2 laps. Pagani's on the softs. Lee gets himself another 5-second penalty. And Blue Flag, he's going to be so pissed off. And he's having to wait as well. Pagani's rejoined in P9 just behind KC Bernard. And he's going to be mighty fast coming into this race. Don't forget there is a point for fastest lap. So my money would probably be on him to get that now. But let's go up and see what is going on with FTRL Mikey. He's right on the back of Oscar. Battle for P6. Good recovery from these two. Mikey had an early incident and it dropped him down the grid. Mikey with his DRS open down towards the hairpin. Oscar gives him the room. Job done for Mikey. Pagani's already caught up to the back of KC Bernard. It's 0.4 of a second. He's going to have superior grip. There we go. Yellow flag in sector 1. What's happened in front? Pagani trying it around the outside. Is he going to try to switch back? Yes, he is. Doesn't quite have the traction. But he looks fast. I imagine he'll get him into the next couple of corners where he can. Needs to be very careful through it. Casey Bernard runs wide. Pagani's through. Good move. Gets the job done. Put him under pressure and he cracked. But Lee, he's gone from 14th to 2nd to P11. He's going to be fuming. Absolutely fuming. Everyone talking about yellow shorts in the chat. I don't know if I'm missing something here, but can someone tell me who that is? Am I being really stupid? Oh, yellow flag in sector 1. Is that AJ? It's Matman. Matman's bottled it. He was P4. Srini's in the chat. We've got 24 people watching. Thank you very much. Please do me a favour and just drop a like on the stream. It will take you literally a matter of a second to do so. And it helps us reach more people. So please be sure to do that for us. Much appreciated. Goy Carp is P2. Yes, Michael. Goy Carp is in P2. Pagani's taken a couple of seconds out of Oscar already. He's flying on his softs. They did have an altercation earlier on, I think. I didn't quite see, but unconfirmed reports. Mikey's picked himself up a penalty recently as well. So he's down in P6. Could come under threat towards the end of this race. Now those that are on the medium tyre, so Lee Cole and Blue Flag on like the fresh mediums, they I can tell you for a fact that they are fast towards the end of a race. I used them yesterday and I felt incredibly fast on them. Mikey's now putting Oscar under some pressure. Mikey's not doing a very good job at saving his battery, it must be said. I think he's using it as like a deployable DRS. Pagani fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 12.2. Mikey on the back of Matman now, runs out onto the curb. Needs to be careful doing that. Can easily drop it. He's taken 2 more seconds out of Oscar. We'll revisit that very soon. Mikey with the DRS open. Matman's probably deploring his overtake. Yes, he does. Is Mikey going to take a look around the outside? No, tries to switch back on Matt. Nearly gets that right. Nearly. Needs to just get a good run out this penultimate corner. He should have him into turn 1. No, it takes too much curb. It's going to lose him a little bit of time, but thankfully Matt's not had the best exit. Mikey 2.5 tenths behind, DRS open. Not much battery to deploy, but the DRS should see him through. Goes towards the outside at turn 1. Matman's going to brake a little bit later, but yields position. I think Mikey's up. There we go. Pagani improves again. He's down to 3.8 seconds behind Oscar. 1 minute 12 flat. It's a very fast lap from Pagani. He's got a bit between his teeth, and I imagine he will catch. It wouldn't surprise me if he catches this battle that we're on board with now. 6 laps to go, or 7 if you include the current lap. Adam Mako, not really been on stream very much. I apologise, buddy, but he's way out ahead once again. Goykarp going very well in P2 at the minute, getting his job done. He's currently up on his time as well, so he's certainly not just holding back and coasting towards the end. Bread is your daddy. We did see him drop it earlier on, but he seems to have found a little bit of a rhythm again. And AJ's found himself up in P4. So even after that stranger strategy call, I would say, from him pitting a little bit late off those mediums, he's managed to prevail out in P4. So he's certainly gone up the grid. I think he started P13 in this one. And Mikey's on his way to a good result. He's pulled 1.9 seconds to Matman, who's mirroring that lap at that time and distance to Oscar behind. Pagani is now 1.9 behind as he overtakes the lapped car of Max Def, I believe that is. It could be TRS actually. Maybe he needs to back off slightly. It's going to be quite off-putting for Pagani, I think, having a lap car there like that. But he's going to be fast. This is just to see who that is. That is Max. Yeah, I thought so. Pagani's in DRS range of Oscar now. These two clashed earlier on. And let's see if that happens again. Pagani should be able to do this pretty smoothly. If he can get close enough by the start-finish straight, it should be fairly straightforward. Job done. Staying DRS through here. Ooh, takes a little bit too much curb. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. Oh, he gets himself a 3-second penalty towards the end of the race. Pagani's pushing hard. And they're only 1.4 behind Matman as well in front, so Pagani could get them both. Now, DRS, he's not deploying the overtake either, but he's probably going to take a look towards the inside at turn 1. Is he? Yes, he does. A little bit of a bang of wheels. Pagani gets it done. Not the cleanest, but he won't care at this point. He will be head down, away he goes, and he's now got Matman to contend with. Thank you all very much for liking the stream and joining us tonight. Like I said, as of next week, we're hopefully going to be able to have even more stuff on screen, maybe some more transitions and a few other clips and whatnot. Be a bit more time to prepare for it. He's had a good run. He's got DRS open on Matman. Is he going to take a look now, or is he going to wait? He's going to have to do it now. Goes down the inside. Job done. Pagani's up into P6. Next up on the hit list is FTRL. Just Mikey H, who I believe also has himself a penalty. So Pagani needs to clear these guys and try and catch up to the back of Mikey. He's got 3.5 seconds to make up in what is going to be 4 laps. But Oscar is now going to be closing down on Matman. It seems to have gone backwards since his spin. Oscar's on much older, well, a couple lap older tyres. Lico on blue flag haven't progressed like I thought they would. There's quite a big gap. Big ask from them to bring that back through. British Daddy's down to 5 seconds to Goy Carp. He's certainly up on his time at the minute as well. He's pushing, doing what he can. Goy just trying to bring home the goods. Pagani 3.5, 3.6 to Mike. Again, there is a difference between the tyres on these two. Pagani ripping the softs, Mikey's on the hards. It seems to be in a nice little rhythm at the minute. He's going to check in with blue flag. Is he anywhere closer to threatening Lee anytime soon? He's taking about half a second out of him. Dutch Tricks, the FTRL goats in the chat. Good evening, Dutch. Nice to see you here, buddy. Thank you for taking time out to come and have a look at what's going on in Division 2. Oscar is getting close to Matman. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to see a safety car today. And for all of those early spins and yellow flags we saw, we've had a couple of virtuals, but nothing full. And we're not going to see one today. Just 2.5 laps. The leader has now put the soft tyres on, so he's going for the fastest lap. He wants that extra point, and he's got the gap to be able to do so. So, are we going to see Adamako take 4 points from the race? Red is Your Daddy's had a moment somewhere again, because the gap is now 11.6 seconds to Goy. Pagani's still only 3.5 behind Mike, so Mike is driving very, very well at the minute. Maximising those hard tyres. Pagani cannot close. He's on softs, Mikey's on hards, and Pagani just can't get that job done. Oscar's now fallen just out of DRS range, crucially to Matman. Pagani does have the gap on the guards behind, needs to just extend it slightly more to be safe. .6, he's taking a second out of Mikey now. So Mikey come under a little bit of pressure. I believe Mikey's got a penalty as well. So this could be for position if Pagani's able to close up. He's got 2.5 laps to do it in. It's quite the ask, but we shall see. We're going to go on board with Adamako, who's currently just started what is hoping to be his fastest lap and the fastest lap of the race. I think he's currently held by Pagani on a 1:12 flat. Where's Your Daddy 3-second time penalty? I don't think that's going to impact very much. We're going to watch Adamako as he comes through the fast sweeping right-hander towards the end of sector 1 as he approaches sector 2. Rides the outside curve, clips the inside curve nicely. Good transition between the corners. Downshifts to third, takes the inside curve well. Loses a couple of attempts there. Down into third. Perfect distance between him and the inside curb there. Deploys DRS, heading down towards the chicane. Takes the bump nicely, needs to downshift to second, hug that inside line. Does that very well. Towards the penultimate corner, downshift to fifth, down into fourth. A little bit wider than he might like, but still a good run. And I imagine we're about to see the fastest lap of the race. It wouldn't surprise me if this is in the 1:11s. Yeah, 1:11.2. Very, very good lap from Adamako. Grimsby Town fan. But yeah, he's certainly showing Div 1 pace at the minute. His consistency is fantastic. So that may be something we see in the not so distant future. Pagani down to 2.8 seconds. He's lost a bit of time to Mikey again. I think he's just trying to give it everything that he can. And Mikey's not making any mistakes. So Adamako's on his final lap of the race. Yeah, the leader does have a very big gap. There's been a couple of crashes, Dutch. There's not been anybody that's been particularly clean directly behind him. as in everyone else has had mistakes or problems really. A lot of them. I mean, other than Goy, to be fair, Goy's not had any moments, but either way, some very, very good pace. Pagani, I think, is just accepted the fact it's going to be a P6, but going from pole to P6, he's not going to be too happy with that. Nevertheless, Adamako does it once again. He completes the race with the fastest lap of 1 minute 10.6. Now, as a race pace, that's incredibly fast, but he gets the job done. That's 2 wins from 2 from Adamako. He's going to be delighted with that one tonight. And we are going to see a Mr. Goy Karp come round to take a P2 in FTRL. He's weaving over the line. He's going to be incredibly pleased with that. But I've just had a thought. Hang on. Division 2 standings. No, he's not. I was thinking for a second that Goy Karp was going to be our new championship leader. Goy Karp is now P2 in the championship. So Bread is your daddy is going to be your new championship leader. But Goy Karp is now P2 in the championship. Great drive from Adam in P1. Goy Karp in P2. Bread is your daddy brings it home for P3. A couple of scares for him, but he got the job done. AJ in P4. Pagani's profited up to P5 in the end. So that penalty is it's not done him too dirty. Mikey's had a couple there, I think. It's dropped him down. But yeah, Pagani's finished in P5. So a bit of an up and down race. Pagani will be disappointed with that. However, I think he'll be fairly pleased with the fight back. Driver of the day, as per voted by the game, has been AJ for 13th to P4. And it's hard to disagree with that. I'm going to give my personal one to Goy, just purely on the basis that it's good to see so much progression from Goy. Adamako dominated, a well-worthy contender, as was AJ by those positions, profited. But I'm going to give mine to Goy Karp today. Unlucky for the likes of Lee Cole as well and FTRL Blue Flag were caught up in each other's incidents. But Matt Mann finishes in P6, just Mikey in 7th after getting himself a penalty. And I think he must have had an unserved drive, stop go or something, which has dropped him out of his P5 where he was. Oscar in P8, Casey Bernard in P9 with FTRL Lee Cole rounding off the top 10. He's going to be gutted with that. Nevertheless, he can take a hell of a lot of confidence. He can get a hell of a lot of confidence from the way that he drove tonight, and was unfortunate to get wrapped up in a couple of little incidents here and there. But on a track of this nature, he's certainly not shamed himself in any way, shape or form. Blue Flag in P11. Again, what could have been for him? I think he would have been on for a podium tonight, or very close to. TRS finishes in P12. We'll be pretty disappointed with that. And then rounding off the grid, we've got Agent Panda in P13, a night to forget for the Panda. And then we've got Max Def and Rampage finishing off in 14th and 15th. And the final person, the only person not to finish the race, FTRL Oven in P16. And that rounds off what has been quite an exciting and eventful debut Dutch Grand Prix for FTRL Division 2. But we will leave it there. No podium interviews tonight. I apologise if the stream was a little bit all over the place. Like I said, having 2 different screens to focus on at once has been quite difficult. We shall see about next week and certainly get it more up to date and running a little bit better. But nevertheless, the action does not stop there in FTRL. It never does. So tomorrow night we will be in Division 2 or GT2 of our Gran Turismo League, followed by the GT1 boys on Fridays. And then we will be back as of Monday with the Assetto Corsa Competizione League. And as soon as we've got a spectator account that works on the game, we should be streaming that as well. So Monday to Friday is your action in FTRL. But from me and from everybody else, thank you all very, very much for spending your evening watching this racing. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope the new little features on the stream as well was quite nice for you. And we shall see you next week. But yeah, please come and tune in as much as you possibly can. Subscribe if you haven't done already. Please like the stream as well if you failed to do so. It helps us enormously. And from me, I'm going to go and enjoy a beer on my birthday now. So and have a good chat and a good giggle with the boys at the end. So well done to all of them tonight. Adamako has absolutely smashed it. He's done extremely well. Well done to Goy in P2 and Bread is your daddy, the new championship leader in P3. And we shall see you next time. So from me, I will see you next week at Canada.